Now to enter descale mode, we're going to hold the 8 and 12 ounce buttons down for 3 seconds. How's it going, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to descale your Keurig machine. Now the steps are similar if you have a Nespresso brewer or some older Keurig models. Here in this video, what I'm going to show is how to do it on a K-Supreme, K-Supreme Plus, and a K-Supreme Plus Smart. There are 2 to 3 items that we need. The first is a descaling solution. For your convenience, I'm going to put them down in the link below. I'm going to include some top sellers on Amazon, as well as the Keurig official brand. It is a bit pricier, but for those of you that want to use the official products, I'll link them down below. Also, as a disclaimer, you can use vinegar, so keep that in mind. What I have seen with vinegar though is that you need to run it more times because a lot of people complain about this taste and smell lingering even after a few cycles of water. The other thing we're going to need is something to catch the water coming out, either a bowl, large bowl, or you could use a mug. Make sure if you are using a mug to catch the water, it's at least 14 ounces. What's going to happen is as you cycle the water through, it's going to come out in 12 ounce batches. Because of that, it's probably easier to use a bowl so you don't have to dump it out as often. And lastly, this is optional, but do have a towel just in case the water is splashing from running through. You can clean up your counter and have a nice clean kitchen. To start off, the Keurig is plugged in, however, the power is off. What we're going to see here, the ones with this screen option, it's going to say descale. And if you have the Keurig Supreme, it's going to have a little light that says descale. So opening it here, make sure to take out your old pod. Don't have a pod in here. Now let's close it. And you're going to see it says descale there. Now you see the light flashing like that. It's because the LEDs in this screen are refreshing at a different rate from the camera. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not flickering in real life. Just in case you see that on the camera there, no issues. We took our pod out just in case there is one in there. Make sure it's out. Next, we're going to get our water reservoir here. And if you have this charcoal filter, make sure to take it out. Why? Because you don't want to filter the solution. You want it to pass straight through. So let's take this out. Pretty simple. Open the top and you're just going to pull that out there. Next, let's dump the water out. And for this particular solution, it's similar to the Keurig brand. However, this one does say to use 4 ounces, which is half of the bottle. Feel free to pause here if you want to read this over. So what we're going to do is add 4 ounces. The Keurig picture itself, which I'm going to show here, you're going to see that the Keurig one does not even mention to remove the charcoal filter. So we're removing the charcoal filter again to make sure that this fluid does not get filtered. We want it to pass straight through. So the Keurig instructions don't mention that. Opening this up, I'm going to add about half the bottle in. Fill it up completely with water. All right, we have it up there to the max line. Let's add the reservoir back. And if for some reason your machine lights are on, just turn it off like that. Now it's off like this, but it's still plugged into the power. Now to enter descale mode, we're going to hold the 8 and 12 ounce buttons down for 3 seconds. Your Keurig light's going to flash there, and you saw the descale light came on. That's how we know we're in that mode. So next what we can do here, I'm going to remove my mug. I'm going to remove this base. You can just pull it, wiggle it out. And I'm going to put this bigger bowl so I don't have to keep refilling. So now we have our bowl here. We're just going to press the button to start brewing. And this is going to brew in 12 ounce increments. So we're going to press it a few times and it's just going to keep filling and filling up until the water fully lowers. So right now it's at its max and it's going to be brewing. It's going to start cleaning our system. All right, so as y'all can see there, that's about 12 ounces. I don't have to remove this bowl. You see here, it still says descale and this button still is flashing. We're gonna press this until the water fully runs out. Okay, you're going to see here, there's still about that much water left. However, we're brewing in 12 ounce cycles. You're gonna see it now says add water. So if I try to press that, it's not gonna brew, and that's still in the descale mode. We're gonna dump out this remaining solution and we're gonna rinse this out so we get that solution out. And we're gonna fill this up with just clean water. Next, let's dump out the reservoir with the remaining solution and then wash this out and fill it up with water. Now let's fill it up to the max line with regular water. Let's add our reservoir back. You're gonna see there, it still says descale and it's still gonna have the button flashing to brew. Let's place our bowl back. Now with just full clean water, we're gonna pass this through completely until this button stops flashing and it stops saying descale up there. So at some point you should see this go away here. That's the way the instructions list it. It's just gonna go away by itself. If you saw here at the end of that last cycle, this light turned off. And if we look at our reservoir, it's pretty much done with water. So I'm gonna add the reservoir back there. And then I'm gonna open this, close, and you're gonna see it just says add water. Again, it's flickering because of the light difference with the camera refresh rate. Let's go ahead and dump this, and do keep in mind it is hot, so just be careful with this here. Let's dump this out. I'm gonna add water into the reservoir. Just enough for now, just to see what the machine says. And we're gonna see there, it's just showing our strength and temperature, our power button. There's no descale. I'm gonna turn it off. Turn it back on. There's no mention of the descale anymore. So the machine itself should turn it off. If you do have the descale light instead of this little screen, that light should turn off on itself. What I have seen some people do is unplug it from the wall, plug it back in, and that light is going away. Perhaps that may work, that the Keurig instructions say to run the water until that light goes away. So just do keep in mind, this is gonna take about 20 minutes. If you removed your base, reattach it. And do keep in mind, we removed the charcoal filter, so let's re-add that. Now is a good time, if you haven't already, to replace our charcoal filter. We're gonna pinch the sides, pull that out. Here's our dirty filter. And if y'all forgot what the instructions say, we're gonna soak this in water for around 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of soaking, let's run it through the water for 60 seconds. And y'all saw I rinsed this one. I'm gonna add it on the base there like that. Line it up, pinch. It's gonna fasten in place like that. And we're gonna reattach our base, make sure it securely fastens. You can see it's securely fastened there. Let's fill this up with water. Re-add that back there. I'm gonna turn it on. And that's how you descale your Keurig brewer. Hope that was helpful, everyone. Again, for the descaler, for the charcoal pods and other items that I'm using for the Keurig in my videos, I'm gonna link down in the description below for your convenience. Please do tell me if you have another method, if this worked. With that said, have a great day, have a great evening, Striker out.